we'll head along to the Cake Tin. More afternoon footy in the capital, which is great. I think the conditions certainly played into at least the first 15 minutes. Some pretty open running rugby.
Yeah, from both teams.
Yeah. Who do you think, if it looks like it's going to be a pretty decent day in Wellington again on Saturday Arvo, do you think the Crusaders, obviously the backline it's an all-black backline essentially, but then the Hurricanes, also noted for their expansive play. Does this favour one side or another?
Well, as Richard said, which backline is coming out for the Hurricanes? You just keep refreshing your page because I have no idea what backline they come out with this week.
What is their best backline in your opinion?
I think do we all agree TJ and Love?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah. Yeah. Just say yeah.
Do we all agree Geordie at the back?
Yeah.
The wingers, I think Hoosen deserves to be on one side.
And I think Rayasi's got
I think Rayasi should be the other winger with Xavier on the bench.
Mm-hmm. And I think Balin Sullivan he's been the Hurricanes' best midfielder all season.
Yes.
Yeah. He's I thought he just won the 13 jersey after a couple of performances.
Yes, correct. So the only other jersey left is the 12. So
you got Umaga Jensen, Tay Walden. There's a few. I think on potential upside, Billy Proctor. Umaga Jensen's, you probably got to have him in there just because at his best, he's the best of that lot.
There's our backline.
Yeah.
We've done
it. But not sure. So the Crusaders have named their team though, and it's very impressive. Braden Ennell slots back into 13.
We've got Whainuku on the bench.
Come off the bench. Last try scorer, everyone. Yeah. Pablo Matera back in the 6 jersey. They've given Tom Christie a bit of a.
So Blackadder goes to the 7.
Steven Christie on the bench. Maybe a little bit light on the type 5. I believe Whitelock's still not there, so it's Scott Barrett and Quinton Strange locking the scrum with. I think Cody Taylor's in for a big week, given just all the injuries and suspensions they're dealing with at hooker.
Yeah, they got Ricky Jackson coming as their backup hooker, squad member. So I've never heard of him, but obviously with
he was the one that did make the Jackson 5.
Cool. But like the Crusaders, they obviously sort of said they were back and had that big performance against the Chiefs.
That was a statement game.
But that's starting to look a bit more like an outlier, right?
Well, but they can turn it on.
Yeah, but then they had all game to turn it on against the Highlanders and didn't.
They're almost getting that sort of feel about them.
Yeah, is this a game they care about, or is this the Valspar, or is this the Masters? Is what I'm saying.
It's not the Masters.
No, and then they got the Blues next week? Where Super Rugby is all over the place.
Okay, so I did have
They do, don't
I believe they do, one of the postponed games.
They're probably looking forward to that one more than they actually look at. I'm not saying that this isn't a big game. I'm just saying if they rate them, they'd probably rate the Blues game higher than they would the Hurricanes this weekend. So, they may have their foot off the gas slightly. Although, as you say, there's a few players that are coming in again who want to put their hands up. Although there are a number of players who had the opportunity to put their hands up against Moana Pacifica and didn't really do that with a lot of enthusiasm, to be fair. So, maybe you've almost talked me into the Canes a wee bit.
You famously backed the Crusaders to much success a couple of weeks ago in your last appearance on the pod, Richard, but your dress would suggest you might be leaning away. Which is it, heart or head?
I'm going with the heart on this one. I think I do think that the Hurricanes at home playing some afternoon footy. They it wasn't a huge crowd there on Sunday, but it looked like a decent-ish crowd and a bit of noise coming out there. So I reckon the Hurricanes might get up for this game and make it a lot closer than. Well, not. I mean, what's the line? Is it still about 7.5? Yeah. Make it sort of closer than that. I think obviously there's 1 point in it last week against a pretty good Chiefs team, and we'll remember what happened when these teams. I think it was a Sunday afternoon last year where Xavier had a huge game. I think it was a game he got sent off, but then the Crusaders kind of scored 2 or 3 tries, but then the Canes sort of came back and we got on points. So yeah, I think I'll be siding with the home team in this game.
Dubious card.
Yeah, I know I've sort of started talking you guys into the Hurricanes, but I'm head over heart here by a lot, because like we said, the Crusaders haven't really fired on all cylinders, but we haven't seen an 80-minute performance from the Hurricanes all season, really. Like they had a great first 10 in last year against the Chiefs. The minor Pacific game obviously was, we all know what happened there. And you just saw in that first game against the Crusaders down south, Crusaders only need 20 minutes to put 20 points on them and put that game out of doubt. And on dry, flat track at the Cape Tin with Lester Whanganuku to come off the bench and that back line, there'll be a 15-20 minute period of play at least where the Crusaders just get on top and get a couple of quick tries, and that'll be enough. I'm leaning sort of probably 1-12, but yeah, I think the 7.5 looks too small for me. I think the Crusaders are just the better team here, and they won't need to be at full strength to just win this one. I don't think the Hurricanes are capable of the same defensive performance the Highlanders put together last week, pretty much against a top quality attack. So
I'd like to see the lineup first before a definitive sort of decision, but I'm not sure we'll get it before the.
No, I think it could be quite high scoring. Like I could see the Crusaders giving up a few points too, just not being at full strength. Maybe one eye on the Blues. The Hurricanes certainly have a much more potent offensive capability than the Highlanders, so they could score a few points. But
they're going to have a good track to run on, good conditions. It should be we should see some nice open running rugby again.
Should be
certainly from one team.
Rugby will be the winner on the day.
Oh wow,
one of those. Yeah, look at me being positive. 27-30 it was in the afternoon game at the Cape Town last year. So 50 plus points. I think
it's supposed to be a nice day. Just checking mid service now. 17 degrees high. Not much wind to speak of. A little bit of cloud, but sun will be out. So yeah, I think I'm with you there. With plenty of points, I think from what we've seen of afternoon games in the last couple of years, it seems to be there. They've put on a bit of a show. So I don't know what the over underline will be, but I might be jumping on the over of this game.
Yeah, no, I'd like to think that. Who is it? Artie? Is Artie the key man if the Hurricanes are going to tip him up here, or who needs to have a huge performance?
No, he always has a huge performance. So I don't think he's the key man. It's someone else stepping up and going with him. First of all, I think one of the key protagonists in this play is the coach selector.
Bearing in mind, most people will know the team by the time they listen to this podcast.
Exactly. So, having said that, I think Geordie needs to go back to the 15. Love needs to go back into the 10. And then they need to work a few things out after that. But
even if it's Ruben at 10 and Geordie at 12, I wouldn't.
Yeah, it's still not their best. No, I don't think it's their best lineup.
I don't know who plays 15 then, maybe Wes, but the idea of Ruben and Geordie playing next to each other does at least, I think that could be pretty fun.
Yeah. Well, Geordie don't mind taking it. Ruben doesn't mind taking it to the line, and
they're both so explosive. They sort of get a bit of space out back. You could do so much with their sort of dummy runners. There was the try that Julian scored in the corner was Ruben drifting out back after he'd been moved to 10 and then hitting Julian out wide. So
I think that it's not a player that has to stand up. I think the type 5 have to really stand up in those set pieces to give the back line a nice solid foundation to work off. So if they can do that, I think the Canes are certainly a chance. But waiting for the lineup.
Is there anyone you have got your eyes on pending team list, Richard, hoping for a big game from as a Hurricanes fan?
I also probably had, depending where he plays, but Ruben Love. I'm hoping that he plays in the 10, and I think we've sort of seen what he's capable of, but he hasn't quite sort of put two hands on that 10 jersey yet for the Hurricanes. So if he could, put a couple of good performances and just play, he's quite, when he's playing with some confidence, he's fearless. As Paul said, he sort of he's not a huge bloke, but he takes it to the line. And if he he had the likes of sort of Barrett and Savia outside him, just off some short balls. Be exciting to see. So TJ had a really good game on Sunday as well, so and probably, when Booth came on, the game sort of did turn a bit, but it wasn't. So TJ probably just
came on, I believe.
Yeah, it's true. Probably TJ as well. So if those two are playing 9 and 10, be good to see them really that partnership kind of established.